My name is Mike Garver. A lot of my students call me Coach Garver because I see myself less as a professor and more of a business coach. You just watched a video about me and my professional experience. I think that's really important to know where I come from, but I also think it's important for you to get to know me as a person. And so this quick video is exactly that. That's a picture of me and my daughter at the Formula One race in Montreal. What a cool experience that was. Anyhow, let's get going. So I started off, that's my mom and dad, and I was super blessed to have the very best parents in the world. I mean, they both just, they were amazing, and I miss them terribly. And that's my family growing up. I'm the little cute guy with the little bow tie, the dark-haired. That's my little brother and my two sisters. And so we grew up, just to be honest with you, I had an ideal childhood. And it gave me every strong start and foundation. And I feel blessed to have had such a strong beginning with my family. Most of my life growing up, I played a lot of baseball, a lot of sports, but baseball was always my favorite. That's me in the front left. I'm the second. I'm the guy with the huge afro hair. That's my little brother in the middle. My dad's up in the, he was always one of my coaches. And so he was actually, out of all the coaches I played for, he was easily the best and definitely the most fun. So anyhow, so then that's me on upper right there, trying to show off my muscles. As a rambunctious teenager, lots of fun. Garver got into trouble all the time. So this is after college, and those were all my high school buddies who we played baseball with in high school. We started our own softball team. Some of the greatest memories of my life were with that team, and that's my dad. My dad actually pitched for my team. We lost our pitcher, and he subbed, and he threw like a two-hitter, and from out on, it was great having my dad with all my buddies playing beer league softball in our mid-20s there. So, all right, so then I finally started to grow up. I got married, and that's my wife, Sherry. And we used to live up in that was the Manistee River right there. So the upper Manistee River is where we lived on the river. Had had a cool place right on the river. And then, and while we were there, by the way, so like now I live up north and kind of between Grayling and Gaylord is where we live. So for 10 years we were married without kids, right? And so we were like teenagers with money, and so we just definitely had a lot of, so not only did we hang out, but I had a lot of hobbies. I used to train Labrador retrievers for hunting dog competition. So that's my dog, Zeke the Wonder Dog. He kind of made me famous. Every competition we seemed to come home with ribbons, and he was, yeah, I miss that boy. And now that's after Zeke passed, I got another dog named Jedi. That's Jedi right there. And Jedi was also highly accomplished as a hunting retriever, fun dog to watch. And that was our last competition that we won. And my little daughter, that was me getting the super singles champ that day, but that was our last one, and it was fun. Anyhow, so that was a big part of my life. Also, I love to fish, and so I caught about 3,000 of those fish in my life. I would go every weekend. And then all of a sudden one day I said, I need to start taking all my little nephews and nieces and friends' kids, and that's my nephew Andy, and we would just go catch millions of fish like that, and it was super fun. Love to fish, especially the big fish like that, salmon in the Pere Marquette River. All right, so then I have a child, and I love this kid beyond and I think I always really wanted to be a dad. I'm one of those guys that, I had a great dad. I wanted to be a great dad. So there we go. So that's my little daughter. And that's me and my wife and my daughter, Ellery. Her name is Ellery. And that was us at Mackinac Island. We took all these kind of cool cruises and trips. And then that's, we moved when Ellery was born, we moved to Traverse City. So I lived in Traverse City for about 12 years. And while I lived in Traverse City, we went to the sand dunes like every other weekend. And it was one of my favorite places ever is the sand dunes in Traverse City, or up by Glen Arbor. That's my mom and dad, and so they moved to Florida, so we would road trip to Florida to see them every winter, and they were great parents, but probably even better grandparents, and so always spoiling my daughter Ellery with ice cream. I'm just going to rip through a couple of my favorite pictures because that was our daddy-daughter dance. And we were standing up in a wedding together, and that was super fun. And then I take her fishing, and that was her first big salmon, and what a great trip that was. And then she started playing. I was her coach in T-ball. I think she's like 6 years old there. And early on, I was like, oh my God, this kid's really good. She's got a knack for the game. She had really quick hands and feet and coordinated. And so then she said, hey, I think I want to play college. It was seriously, she's 8 years old. And she's like, I think I want to play college softball. And so I was playing our first travel ball team, the TC Thunder, and it was a 10U team. She was 8. She was absolutely tiny, but she had really good skills. And then later on, she went to the Sandlot Slammers, which was an incredible team. She was 11 there, playing on a 14U team, and tiny still, but she had mad skills, which helped her. This is later in life. She then went and played for the Mid-Michigan Bolts, and this is where she got recruited out of, and that was actually her first home run right there. And love that picture because it's such a great memory. She played in high school at Sacred Heart Academy, and this is my favorite defensive play. She was a freshman, and kid stealing third. She goes sliding into third base because they faked a bunt, and she slides, catches it there, and slaps a tag on the kid. And it was one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen. So at Sacred Heart, she literally, her lifetime batting average was .605, and she's got most of the she's either first, second, or third on all the hitting records except for home runs. But had an incredible career, which then led her to get recruited by a number of different schools, but she wound up going to Wayne State University on scholarship to play softball. And that was when we were on the recruiting trip. And then this is another one of her pictures. And so she's actually just finished her first semester at college. And this semester, I get to go watch her play softball for the first time as a college athlete. So pretty exciting stuff there. So that's kind of where I've been, but where am I at now? I'm kind of going through this empty nest syndrome thing where, all the time that I spent coaching my daughter and doing all those things with my daughter, I'm a little empty nest syndrome, I'll call it. So, so I'm kind of looking to redirect Garv 5.0. And so what am I doing now for fun? Here we go. So yeah, I'm watching every game. I'm never missing a game. I'm going to Tennessee, to Florida when she goes on her spring break trips. And when she's home for the summer, I'm definitely going to coach her. And like home for Christmas break right now, I'm throwing front toss every day, which is glorious. So softball's still a big part, but I'm no longer coaching, so I'm kind of retired now. I'm a huge Lions fan. And yes, I know that this was such a disappointing season. And right now, everybody's calling for Dan Campbell's head. I say Dan the Torpedo. He's our guy. He's a great leader. Yeah, we fell from grace. We had a rough season, but we'll rebuild and come back strong. I'm a huge Lions fan. And it simply brought back to being a Lions fan because of Dan Campbell's leadership. I love that guy, and I love a lot of the players. So love watching the games. Also kind of becoming a Detroit. Now I'm not coaching every week, and I got a little more time to watch a little Detroit Tigers, so I'm back watching baseball games. But nothing is better than going to Comerica Park. So I'm hoping to get some more games this summer. Formula One racing. So my daughter got me started, and we actually went last year to the Montreal Grand Prix. And we're going again this year to the Montreal Grand Prix. And everybody's a Ferrari fan or McLaren or Mercedes or Red Bull. We're actually Williams fan. We're like, our favorite driver is Carlos Sainz. And so we're rooting them on. He had a good year too. So, all right, here we go. And then I love to fish still. That's my brother. And so a lot of my dear friends, I only see them once a year, but when we see them, it's usually I take them fishing on the river. And my brother, that's always my favorite weekend of the year. And then I'm getting a new puppy, right? And I'm going to get back into dog training, and I'm going to get back into competing in hunting dog trials. And I think right now, those are, in fact, I pick up the puppy on January 10th. And so pretty exciting time for Garver because I get that puppy. So the first week of class, I'll have puppies. So I'm going to share a lot of puppy pictures. I think, if I had to guess, I think we're going to get the blue puppy right there, the one that's sleeping full on. They're all sleeping, I guess. But, so the blue, my daughter really likes the blue one, and he seems kind of like the guy, but we'll see. But we got to go to Minnesota to get the puppy. So anyhow, all right. Hey, enough about that. I just wanted to kind of give you a glimpse into the life of Coach Garver, Mike Garver, your professor, and show you who I am as a person as well as my professional experience. Look forward to the class, guys.